What's up, YouTube? RKO Legend Killer 687. Back here for this is my review for tonight's 3-hour old school Monday Night Raw, November 15th, 2010. I'm hoping this video works. I tried to do a preview for Raw tonight, but didn't work. So we'll see how this goes. But I honestly I really enjoyed this Raw tonight. It was just great seeing the old school. Everything was just awesome. The old school ring, the red, white, and blue ropes, the old school like Tron, just the big screen, and the Raw like huge Raw letters, to where the superstars came out. Just everything. It looked like an actual old school Raw. It was, and all the way down to the referees and like the light blue button-down shirts and the black bow ties. It was just really cool. I really enjoyed it. Because I heard, and the WWF logo they used was the old school like Hulk Hogan era WWF logo, kind of like the light blue, kind of gold almost. Because apparently I heard they can't use the WWF logo from like the Attitude Era, or what pretty much every Attitude Era fan knows the WWF logo used to look like, which is basically the WWE logo right now minus the F. Apparently they can't use that. I don't know why. I'm not sure, but it was really cool. Tonight's Raw, I really enjoyed it. So let's get to it. The opening was just awesome. They did the opening like the old Raw was, to the old Raw theme. It was pretty much just the Raw video, used nowadays, but incorporated into the old theme. I still thought it was pretty fucking cool. It just kind of felt like old time, the good old days, watching Raw back when we were kids. Great fucking days, I'll tell you that. So the opening was awesome. Just like I said, at the ring, just the stage, the environment, everything looked so cool. Even the microphones had the old WWF logo on it. Then announcer's table was like, as crappy as the announce table was back in those days. And the guardrails didn't have the actual black ring barriers. They had the actual metal guardrails. It was cool. So the show started. Mean Gene Okerlund came out. It's always good to see Mean Gene. And he introduced Cowboy Bob Orton, who comes out. In the interview stage they used to have back in the day, they brought that out tonight. Right out front in the entrance. And Bob Orton, talks about Randy, how he's not here tonight, and talks about some other stuff. Nothing big. Wade Barrett comes out and comes out and talks trash to Bob Orton, how he's I hope you're there at Survivor Series to see what I'm gonna do or whatever. And he says he doesn't owe like shit. It doesn't owe anything to old school WWE. He earned his spot to where he is now. Like, he worked hard for it. And he tells Bob that he'll be the new WWE champion come Sunday at the end of Survivor Series. Miz comes out, joins the fray, talks about how when Orton arrives tonight, he may just consider cashing his Money in the Bank contract, so that Cena won't even be involved at like Survivor Series or whatever. And then Cena gets on the Tron, of course, just says a bunch of stupid stuff like he always does, and he challenges the Miz to a match tonight. Miz accepts, so you go to commercial. And then back from commercial, the first match of the night is Dolph Ziggler with Vicky Guerrero versus Sexual Chocolate. Yes, Sexual Chocolate, Mark Henry. I kind of marked out when I heard his music. Saw that old Titantron, it was pretty cool. He came out in his usual red attire that he wears today, but he had like Sexual Chocolate stitched on it. It's pretty cool. I'm sorry, I'm so giddy right now. I really enjoyed this Raw tonight. It was really cool seeing all the old school shit. So yeah, that was cool. So it was Mark Henry Sexual Chocolate. Sexual. That's great stuff. Versus Dolph Ziggler. It was an okay match, for a big man. Big men matches when they're against normal sized dudes aren't very, spectacular. But Dolph ended up winning with a sleeper hold. So I'm happy to see that. And then backstage we had Tony Atlas, talking to the Hart Dynasty. The Hart Dynasty. Sorry, I'm going so fast here. The Hart Dynasty were shown walking backstage, and David Hart Smith was like, all great tag teams have go through troubles like within the team, and they become WWE Tag Team Champions. And Tyson Kidd was like, I completely agree, and that's why we're going to show tonight. We're still a team or whatever. So then they run into Tony Atlas, and Tony Atlas just gets in the story about when he and Rocky Johnson, or the Rock's dad, were tag team champions, or were a tag team and whatnot, what they went through. He was just, I couldn't even understand what he was talking about. He was just talking really quickly. Uh, so then they walked away during his conversation and go to commercial. And then back from commercial, he's still talking. This time Yoshi Tatsu's like next to him. Good to see Yoshi. Haven't seen him in a while. And he kind of like, sticks the sword in his side like, uh, uh, I'm like, just painful obviously to listen to. So that was kind of funny. Honestly, I enjoyed everything tonight. I'm just going to be flat honest with you. So that's just my opinion. So then we go to the ring. We got Justin Gabriel and Heath Slater already in the ring, and they're going to take on the Hart Dynasty. So second match tonight, Justin Gabriel and Heath Slater, the WWE Tag Team Champions, versus the Hart Dynasty, David Arn Smith, Tyson Kidd. It was an okay match, like 5-6 minutes. David Arn Smith was in the whole time for the Hart Dynasty, and right when he was about to make a tag, Tyson Kidd sidestepped, and then hit a huge kick on him, knocked him down. Justin Gabriel went up, hit a 450 splash. 1, 2, 3, and pinfall. That your winners are Nexus. You're happy to see. I kind of expect something like that to happen over the last couple weeks. They were having Hart Dynasty having problems within their team. So Tyson Kidd, I guess, is officially heel. The only thing I don't like is that they break up one of the actual pretty good tag teams in the company, but I don't know. I guess I feel like Tyson Kidd has a lot of potential as a singles wrestler, and David Arn Smith, we'll see what he does. So yeah, Slater and Gabriel win that. Then we go to backstage with Randy Orton versus Mean Gene. Man, Orton's his he's starting to grow it out again. I really like that. He's been kind of almost bald for a while now, but it's finally good to see him with some hair back on him. Last time I said that he shaved his head for the pay-per-view, so I feel like he always gets a new haircut for the whatever pay-per-view is coming up. So hopefully that's not the case this time. But Orton's backstage with Mean Gene and Bob Orton by Randy's side. He's talking some stuff, and then Truth comes in and says, Randy, Cena knows what he's doing. He's trying to stir up trouble like he's been doing the last couple weeks or whatever. So then Orton says, he can make sure Cena doesn't make it to Survivor Series by punting him in the skull tonight. We go to commercial. So then we come back. It's Mean Gene with an update, courtesy of WWEshop.com. Talks about the retro gear you can get and stuff around the holiday season. And then we have Justin Roberts in the ring, who's sporting in like an old school wig. Introduces the Fink, Howard Finkel. I like Howard Finkel. I think he's got a great voice. So it's good to see that. And then Brooklyn Brawler comes out with Harvey Whippleman, his manager, and he challenges any of the new school talent in the back. And now comes Big Zeke, Ezekiel Jackson, who I guess is a face now, or at least turning face. He's smiling a lot and laughing, having a good time. But this was a squash match. Excuse me. Big Zeke won with his Uranagi finisher for the 3. So that was it. Then after that, we have Miz and Cena. That match is hyped. We go to commercial, and Nexus is backstage, like Otunga. Everyone Nexus minus Barrett, and Otunga's saying as a leader or whatever, and Barrett comes in. He says as the leader, and he says no, I didn't mean that, as a leader or whatever. And he's like, I proved myself on SmackDown. Speaking and like R-Truth is a problem. He needs to be taken care of. And Barrett's like, yeah, it's a good idea, David. He's like, you'll face him tonight. Then an email comes in. He says that it'll actually be you, Wade, facing R-Truth tonight, as David Otunga will be involved in a match later on tonight. So we have R-Truth versus Wade Barrett announced. And Cena gets in there or chimes in his crappy 2 cents that no one could give 2 shits about. So we have John Cena versus The Miz. Miz comes out, though, and says, it'll be Alex Riley instead of me. I don't want to, I bet you really want to face me or whatever, but I don't know. So it's Alex Riley versus The Miz. This was kind of, it wasn't really a squash. It went on for a little, but in the end, that's what it come down to. Cena wins. No point for him to win this. Like, get Alex Riley over, try and get this kid some, experience. Like, get him a win, but no. Cena, pulling a 2005 Triple H, just burying guy. So yeah, or 2004, 2005 Triple H. So after that we go to commercial, or no, I'm sorry, John Cena wins with an FU, and then he puts on the, I'm sorry, FU, then add STF, and it makes him tap out. And then Orton comes out after, and they brawl for a bit, and then refs and whatnot break it up, and then we find out it's gonna be Piper's Pit versus with his guests Orton and Cena for later tonight, so that should be interesting. We go to commercial, back from commercial. Nikolai Volkov and the Iron Sheik are in the ring, and everyone pay attention. Excuse me while Nikolai Volkov does the Russian national anthem. Santino and Kozlov interrupt. Kozlov starts singing the national anthem with Volkov, obviously because he's Russian too. Then the Usos come out, and so we're gonna have a tag team match for the #1 contendership for the WWE Tag Team titles. The Usos with Tamina and Jimmy Superfly Snuka, who's her dad, versus Kozlov and Santino. So Santino and Kozlov win. It was an okay match, I guess. Santino with the Cobra and I don't know, Jimmy or Jay, which I couldn't tell which one it was. So yeah, Santino and Kozlov are the new #1 contenders for the WWE Tag Team titles. Santino actually showed his wrestling abilities in this. I'm happy they actually gave him some time. So then Sheamus comes out afterwards, hits the brogue kick on one of the Usos. He hits it on Kozlov and then one of the Usos, and he's about to attack Santino, and Morrison comes out again, dumps him out of the ring, and gets on the mic, says, I've been doing this lately. It's because you're a bully, Sheamus, blah, blah, blah. Says, you want me, face me right now. Sheamus rips off his shirt, about to head in the ring, and then walks away. So we go to commercial. Back from commercial, it's David Otunga in the ring for his match against Kofi Kingston, and Kofi wins the Trouble in Paradise, but George the Animal Steel came out there on this with that green shit on his tongue, and it was really weird, and he bit one of the turnbuckle covers off. Kofi took advantage of it, sent Otunga into it, hit Trouble in Paradise for the win. So that was that. Backstage, we have Morrison talking to Joe Briscoe and Arn Anderson, and I could kind of feel this coming, an attack from Sheamus, and sure enough, big brogue kick from Sheamus right to Morrison's jaw. Next thing he says to Briscoe and Anderson, he's like, tell him when he wakes up, I accept his challenge for a match at Survivor Series. I'm actually really pumped for this. I think these two can work great. They've never had a match, but I'm really pumped for this because I feel like they can work well together. Two talented guys. Sheamus, 2-time WWE champion, Morrison, a future champion, hopefully. So then we go to commercial. Then back from commercial, backstage chat segment with the legends, Kelly, Oksana. Basically, they drop a net on her. They finally get her $1 million belt back. Goldust gives it to Ted DiBiase Sr., who then is about to give it to his son, Ted DiBiase Jr., walks up, but he says, I don't want that or whatever. He walks away. Well, they all start dancing. It was really weird. And then Cody Rhodes came in. Goldust how about you teach me some of your dashing grooming tips or whatever? And Cody Rhodes just stops, don't breathe on me. Funny stuff. We go to commercial. Kelly just looking hot as fuck as always. I mean, damn. We go to commercial. Back from commercial, R-Truth and Eve to the ring. So it's gonna be R-Truth versus Wade Barrett. Wade Barrett wins with Wasteland. Happy to see. We go to commercial. Back from commercial. By the way, the match was okay. It was actually probably one of the better matches of the night. But yeah, Barrett wins with Wasteland. Then Alberto Del Rio comes out. He's introduced by his ring announcer, Carlos. So what the hell is it? I don't honestly. I forget his ring announcer's name. Rodriguez or I don't know. But he gets interrupted by Tito Santana. I'm coming to the end of this video, guys. Sorry it's so long. Such a long rod, and I'll make a second vid. Peace.